Hey everyone, Aaron here from AJ Adventures. Thanks for tuning in. Doing a little bit of spring maintenance on the Jeep. Got some new tires and got to retorque them, or torque check. And then got some new parts for the tent and going to reinstall my air compressor. A while ago I took it out when I was about to change to a larger brake booster, which didn't end up working out. So I'm going to put it back in the same spot and then hook it up and get the sway bar disconnect working again. All right, let's get to work. All right, so the new tires I went with. So these are 35 by 12.5 Toyo Open Country MT, so a mud terrain tire. It's got a really aggressive tread and some nice tread on the sidewall as well. I had them I took the winter tires off of the black Rhino rims and I put the new tires on these rims. Really like the look, looks awesome. Yeah, and then I'm gonna take in my old school Jeep rims and have my winter tires put on those. So yeah, that was at West End Tireland here in Edmonton. And I just would really like to say thank you to Toyo themselves because they offer a really good discount for veterans and active military. So it was 30% off on a new set of tires, which was pretty nice. So thank you. So the next thing I'm going to work on is the rooftop tent. Andrew came over the other day and helped me install it. So thanks a lot, Drew. Appreciate it because it is not light. When I opened it the first time, I did notice that it must have been still slightly damp inside when I put it away. So I've got a bit of mold. I took out the mattress and the liner underneath the mattress that is supposed to collect humidity. Tossed them. Bought a new mattress. It's a 3-inch memory foam mattress. Is pretty nice. I already cut it down to shape. Cleaned the entire tent extensively, like scrubbed every bit of it down. Used a mold killer just to make sure nothing comes back. And yeah, so I got the new anti-humidity liner. I'm not sure what to call it. That came in today, so I'm gonna just open up the tent and install it. All right, so this here is just a liner for collecting humidity. Any water and stuff that gets down will go down to the bottom, and this provides airflow so that it can evaporate and go away. Yeah, now I'm just going to put the new mattress back on top. Okay, so here is the compressor. It's a single stage A or B compressor. I didn't go with the dual one. I figured that was a bit overkill. Here's the wiring harness. And I went through everything about a week ago just to make sure it all still works before spending a bunch of time installing it. And not doing it today, but eventually I got this 1 gallon air tank here I'd like to get installed. This is for the A-pillar, and in it is a new pressure gauge. So it's a digital air pressure by glow shift. Eventually I'm going to be putting in a set of airbags in my rear suspension just to be able to take up a bit more of the weight. And I'll be able to adjust it using the system I'm trying to put together. So things that are already installed in here that are going to be part of the system. I've got the Genesis dual battery set up over there. I'll be wiring into that for power to the auxiliary battery. This here is for the aux beam switches I have on my dash. Show those real quick. So right up here, you can see just be air. And with the air on, I'll be able to actuate the sway bar and disconnect it because it'll be air actuated again. All right, here we've got the brake boost. So the 2 top bolts, you loosen those, and the mount for the ARB compressor goes on there. Here's the line that comes over here. And this is a, let's see, there's going to be a couple different actuators. There's normally closed and normally open. I'll explain all that stuff a little bit later when I'm working after the install of the compressor and when I start working on the sway bar again. There we go. Think that when you're doing up a bolt, and is this thing ever going to tighten, or did I take all the threads? All right, so early, but okay, so now this is not going to work without a sensor in it. So I'm going to take this out, put a splitter in there so I can have the pressure sensor as well as the outside. Okay, so I got it hooked up for the most part. You hit the air button, the compressor turns on and it pressurizes. Ignore this right now. Once it reaches pressure, it shuts off. You can plug in your hose and reinflate tires. Now, what would also happen is if I hit the sway bar disconnect button, then this line here, this is normally closed, it opens. This here is a pressure regulator because the air actuator for the sway bar disconnect can only take so many PSI. I can't remember exactly how much, I think it was 75. So yeah, this opens and it goes through the lines, passes a splitter. One side goes off to the, let's see, I'm trying to remember how this works now. So when I hit the sway bar disconnect button, this is normally closed and it opens to allow the pressure to flow through. This is normally open and it closes to hold off pressure. Because what happens is if you just hit the button and it actuates, and then when you turn the button off, it would keep pressurized so the sway bar wouldn't reconnect after. So what I had to do is put in this normally open one. So there's a check valve involved, the air goes through that, opens the sway bar disconnect. Then when I want to close my sway bar disconnect, or I want it to reconnect, then I shut off the switch. This one closes, this one opens, relieving that pressure, and the air actuator goes in and it locks the sway bar again. Took a bit to figure that one out. There is another video from a while ago when I first installed it. So now I'm just trying to get it working again. This port here, I'm trying to figure out where to install that 1 gallon air tank. And then I will look at wiring it into that. So for now, I'm just going to clean up all my wiring over here. Awesome. All right, so both of the solenoid valves are working. The compressor's working. I'm just going to put a cap in here to plug this for now. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to mount that one. All right, well, thanks for hanging out today. Got the air compressor reinstalled, tent's ready to go. What else? Tires are all torque checked. So now we just got to go out and find some dirt and get in some mud, have some fun. This Thursday, I am going to be heading out to pick up a little project, so that's going to be for the future, so you guys will have to wait and see what that's about. What else? This summer, really looking forward to this summer. I'm pretty excited. So we're going to be heading back out to Vancouver Island. Ethan is going to be going away to a summer camp, and he'll be gone for 7 weeks. It's from cadets. He'll be getting his pilot's license. Rachel and I are going to drive out to Vancouver Island. We're going to go to Tofino for a couple days, see our friend Barb there. I'm going to leave her there, go down to Campbell River, where I was accepted to participate in Operation Pegasus. So Op Pegasus, it's a drop zone in Campbell River. If you're accepted, you can go there. It's for veterans, and you can get your basic skydiving certificates. So spend about, I think it's 3 or 4 days doing that, and then drive back to Tofino for a couple days, and then make our way back home. While I'm on the island, I'm also going to be taking my scuba gear with me. I've been doing a lot of courses on it. I recertified just over a year ago. And I've been working on like peak performance buoyancy and search and recovery. What else? And I'm also, right now, I'm about halfway through my rescue diver course. So just have to do some open water time for that one. I'll be taking my scuba gear with me to the island, and I'm going to talk to a couple local shops out there and do some dives with them. Really looking forward to that. I'm hoping to get at least one deep dive and one rec dive done so I can finish those certifications. So yeah, you guys got to stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming. Really looking forward to this summer, and it's going to be a lot of adventures to come. So you all stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the trail.